So we're doing a tutorial this round. It's gonna be a bit different. This one's I just kind of wanted to do this. So I'm gonna probably edit it at a later date. But you know, for now it's just gonna be this tutorial. So anyway, we're gonna take this JSON data here and we're gonna build a we're gonna build a filter search for all this data, and this is just some JSON data I have, and so I'm gonna go in this directory, and as you can see, it's just that JSON file. So we're gonna anyway, we're gonna use Vue.js for this. So we're gonna go ahead and get a boilerplate template going. I'm just gonna do that real quick, so that way we can just set that up real quick. So let's go ahead. Let's open the terminal. I'm gonna open a fresh terminal. We're gonna just use this terminal. It's alright. Zoom in a bit. Anyway, so this is pretty simple what we're trying to do here. So we're gonna first we're gonna go to the directory, find this in the tutorial folder, whatever, and watch this. So we're gonna I think we have Vue, right? Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna go Vue init with that. We're gonna do it in the current directory. And yep, we're all good there. So we got it. Cool stuff. So we're gonna just keep this project here. It's gonna be a filter search. And that's me. We need the compiler and the router, and let's go without linting for now. It's actually good practice, so let's go ahead. And so we're gonna configure the linter ourselves. I have my own config, so that's a no-brainer. Anyway, so we're gonna set up unit test 2. Why the heck not? End-to-end test. Why the heck not? And it's just gonna install a bunch of crap for us, and it just did. You can see. It's gonna have a basic app in there. I'm gonna customize it a bit, just because you know the basic configuration is not always that good. So I like calling app.vue program, so I'm going to name that program. It just rolls off the tongue a bit better. So anyway, I'm going to rename this to program. And we have some basic CSS there. So anyway, we're going to look at main, and of course we rename this, so let's go ahead and just so that's our Vue.js program. We're gonna have this little application do quite a simple thing, which is we just want to filter a search. Alright, so we got this router here. Right now it's just doing a hello component. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna define a new component, and what that component's gonna be is it's gonna be our index, where we're gonna have all the elements and so on and so forth. So we have anyone? No, probably not. Just kidding. I don't know. So let's anyway, so let's go ahead. We're gonna rename this. This is not going to be hello anymore. I already know what it's going to show me on the hello page. So anyway, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to rename this component. We're going to create a new component. Let's go ahead and go to hello. Oh, we don't have that buffer. So we're going fast. Let's just go fast. And yeah, this is a basic Vue.js component. It's pretty simple. We're just going to delete everything. I'm too lazy, so let's just fill in the blanks. I mean, might as well. So, using 2 spaces too. We don't have 2 spaces configured in our text editor. We have 4 spaces configured. So let's go ahead. Let's copy over that ESLint file. I should be using tabs, but I guess I'm just a pleb. So anyway, let's look at where is it? It's not in the source file. It's in the upper file. So we got this ESLint file, and it's pretty simple. Looks like we had an RC file. We're gonna go ahead and copy over the one I have from my other project, just for the style that I like, which is it's not that different. But anyway, so we're gonna go to the programming apply media center. You can see me programming this slide as well. Looks like the stream service I'm using is completely frozen. I don't know. Anyway, so we're gonna go here. So media center here, right? And so we have our ESLint in the static folder. So we're going to app media, UI static program ESLint. So we're gonna just go here, and we're gonna copy this over. Let's go ahead. We're gonna sticky this window. So this is from scratch. I believe that's the best way to do it. So let's do it. Anyway, it's not much difference. We're gonna use the dev server for this too as well, so that way we can just have live reload maybe. I'm pretty sure that this is configured for reload. We don't have these globals. This is for chatlib and media center, so that's a different thing. So this is a fork, I guess, of standard style. One of many JavaScript coding standards. So anyway, I had 4 spaces. I didn't really care about that. I can use whatever. Doesn't matter. So anyway, we got 4 spaces and the basics. So we're gonna go ahead, and we're also gonna look at this RC file too. So no, that's what we were just looking at. So package JSON, we have all this stuff. I'm pretty sure it contains the same stuff. Oh jeez. So okay, we're live, right? So anyway, we got this editor config too. I think this doesn't matter. We're gonna just I guess copy it over to Emacs. Doesn't even utilize that file, so it's pointless for me. But that's not an ESLint. Let's see. We should use tabs. So no one uses tabs in JavaScript for some reason. So anyway, we're gonna look at this stuff, and basically, so I'm gonna save this hello file, and since we're gonna rename it, we're gonna name it just search. Just keep things simple. And there we go. We got search, and here we go. We need to use this as well, so we're gonna still have that on the root, and of course we're going to rename this to search. And so we got that going, and so next we need to figure out what to do with this data, right? So we have this basic app. We can run this, and it would probably just open this blank template, and that's it. So let's go ahead. We're gonna reformat this with 4 spaces. I know that's heresy. So anyway, we're all good there. So we're also gonna format this. So for some reason view mode is preferring 2 spaces. Alright, so that's okay. We'll just fix that. So let's go to web mode. And I think there's something wrong. So I'm going to just kill this buffer. You open it. And yeah, this is a horrendous sound. I know. So don't pity me for using AMAX, because it's whatever. I think we have to use that. There we go. Anyway, so what is it? So anyway, we got the style formatted right, and we just have a basic app. So it's not even an app. It's like not even an app. Yeah. So we have the file. So let's run. Let's go ahead and install everything that's required. It's gonna take like 30 megabytes or something. So it's kind of a lot, but that's what the price you pay for convenience. So alright, so while that's installing, I'm going to go ahead and try to figure out how I want to use this data. Presumably it's coming from an API. The interesting part about this data is it's not nested. We have this notation where we have the object name and an underscore and the field in the object. So what we're going to do is we're probably going to have some kind of person object, organization object, okay. And we're going to have a location be as part of the organization, or this data item, right? So anyway, let's go ahead and so there's two objects, people and organizations, and so we're gonna need to create a data element as part of the rows in this in this app for filter search. And so what we're gonna do is here in the template, we're gonna go ahead and let's do it in 2 spaces again. Oh, buddy. Okay, let's switch to a mode. Alright, so how are we gonna do this? Well, we have a div, and we're gonna have a table, and we're gonna have a search. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have 2 tables, right? And there's going to be some fields in there, right? And so we're going to have people as the first table, and organizations. And this is pretty bare bones right now. I'm just trying to kind of show what we're trying to do here. And so we're going to have a table with rows. So, we're gonna have that. We're gonna have our little T-volume here, and so let's go ahead, just put people there, and sorry. Let's go ahead and put that there, and this we can also put number 2. I know there's things like I'm gonna make this markup stuff easier, but I type fast enough to where I can just do that. So anyway, So, okay, we got two tables. This is simple enough, right? We have some rows. We're gonna have some rows with some data in them, right? What was it? T row? Is it? So anyway, we're gonna go. I'm just gonna look for it over here because. Can't be arsed. So let's see. We have TR. That's what it is. I don't know why they have that. So anyway, we can have that in a div. We don't have to use a table. It's pretty common to actually just emulate tables because the formatting of tables is very finicky. And but with inline flex, it actually gets rid of a lot of the problems with tables. So we can still center styles in tables and yet still use the table. You know, Bootstrap has you do stuff where you have like divs with classes, like, oh, this is a table or something. You know, a lot of, well, some frameworks, some of them do that. I know that now they just have a class on the table that's table class table. But we're doing this from scratch, so there's no reason. Anyway, so that in mind, this is kind of confusing, I suppose, but we're gonna put this data. We're gonna have some rows with data. We're also gonna have some columns with data. We're gonna have the TD with, let's say, a little, you know, initials, you know. We got this. So check this out. We're gonna have, so what is this? So we got this person's name, and the initials would be like the first name and the last name, right? So we're gonna do person, last name. So we're gonna actually just have this as a field in some objects, and so we're gonna also have, oops, we're gonna have this in a row too. Obviously, we can just kind of copy and paste. So this is all just HTML right now, what we have. It's not dynamic at all. Let's go ahead and, so for the sake of example, we're going to put a data member called person. And we're also going to put a data member called organization. And basically what's going to happen is these are both going to be their own components, but we're kind of just trying this out. So we're going to see, we're going to have DA, whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so those are data members of this component, which is the search component. We have the search route defined on the root. Okay. So we're gonna have this terminal come right here. Let's go ahead. We have an install file. Let's run dev. So I have another process running. I need to kill. And it opened at Valdi. That's perfect. That's just perfect. No, okay, so we're gonna go to Firefox. Let's open up a new window, right? Brand new window, right? And we're gonna go to here. Here we go. We got this error here. Whoa, what's wrong? Right? Okay. So we have it configured on the path. We have the name, and we're using the router. So what can be the problem? Well, let's do some debugging, some fast debugging. It's obviously in the source as a problem, and maybe this is in the build. Here we are. There we go. And we're also using 4 spaces. So what is the deal? Oh, there we go. Alright, and let's see if the terminal likes that. So is there how reload? Okay, can't find ESLint config standard. That's interesting. Let's go ahead and see what's going on there. I guess we don't have it installed, so I'm going to go ahead and install that package. I didn't install it initially because I did not know what my config was based off of. So let's go ahead and install that npm package here. We're gonna, so it's ESLint config standard. We want to save it to dev. We also just want to save it in general. Hopefully, I think we don't actually need to save it for the production build, but I would need to confirm that. So it's installing. It's going to take a few more seconds. And so we're going. Let's see. I have some formatting config issues in my editor that are painful, to say the least. And I just don't have enough time. So let's go ahead, let's run the build again. Run the dev server, and here we go. Why is it opening Vivaldi? I don't know. It's our default browser, apparently. So just to make things simpler, I'm going to move this tab to a new window and just deal with this browser. I do want to debug this, but I don't know, you know. Anyway, we can't get this route. So there's a problem there. Let's go ahead and just inspect it, see maybe there's something here that gives us a clue. And 404, nothing too crazy. So anyway, let's go. We're looking at program view for that, and we're exporting our program, and we have the router here configured. It should be working fine. I'm not exactly sure what the issue is. We have program, a loading program. I suppose there's a syntax issue. So I'm going to look in here, and yes, there is a syntax issue. There is the ESLint plugin import that we need to save. So let's go ahead, we're going to install. We're going to save that. Oh, we're going to save dev. And yeah, so we're going to have that working. And so alright, and so let's run the build again. There's probably one other package that we're missing too, because you know, the world hates us or something. So anyway, we got this, all this stuff missing. So let's go ahead, just paste that here and run that, and we'll just have to keep doing that because I feel like there's some missing packages, and I should have probably installed ESLint extras. I can look at the other file for the missing packages because I did copy over my config, but this is short term. So an error. ESLint plugin promise. So we're gonna look at actually just the file to see what we're missing. And this is in Media Center. Same file. We're not editing it or anything. So let's go ahead and see. So what else did we copy? I don't know. So ESLint plugin promise. We have plugins, right? Plugins HTML on. Okay. So alright, so let's go ahead and just look at here. Let's see what ESLint stuff it has here. We have all this ESLint stuff. Let's go ahead. We're just gonna install all of them. Alright. So this is start to finish. So let's I'm gonna finish it on the stream, hopefully. And no, I already have that package installed, I think, but I just want to be sure. Put in HTML. That should be it. I don't see anything else. Oops. And let me just save. Okay. Alright. And so I think that's the last one before we can run the server. Again, I haven't pre-recorded this thing or anything, so there's no nothing to go off of. So anyway, looks like we have div ID app, and we decided we wanted that to be programmed, so that's odd to me that it is making the same mistake. So let's go ahead, we're creating a view here. Let's see. Is it because of something having to do with the config, or is no? Definitely it's div ID program. It should be div ID program. So space before. Yes, okay. So it's just the linter complaining. We're gonna put that there. And it's successfully compiled. And now for some odd reason it's still in program. But, sorry, app. It's using div ID app, and so we're gonna just do a grep search for ID. And so we do have it. It's in the index file of the build. So I guess. So we're gonna have. It's actually in the root folder. So we have this basic HTML file. The base config generates for us, or rather the preset I selected. So, all right. So we're gonna run that. It's gonna run the dev server. We got a compiled thing. Look at that. We got Vue.js up and running, and we have this table. Very simple. we are going to next work with the data. We're going to actually work with the data. Okay, so I'm going to open up something real quick. And so we have this base file. It has the Vue.js logo on it. I don't know where that came from, actually. That's kind of odd to me. So where is that coming from? Alright, so it's just inserting it outside of the div. That's kind of funny. Oh, where did that come from? Anyway. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and delete that little image there because I know we're using Vue. It doesn't advantage me to have that logo there. Anyway, yeah, here we are. And let's see, is there auto reload? Yeah, there is. Okay. Lovely. Auto reload app. Hot reload, that's what they call it. So anyway, we're gonna work with this data. Let's go ahead and make two components. I'm gonna make, let's hide this for now. Let's hide that for now. We're gonna make two components. We're gonna make the person. Oh, whoa. Why is there ads playing on my own stream? Okay, anyway, so we're gonna, person view, and we're gonna do organization view. And if you've used React or anything similar, it's the same stuff, except Vue allows you to use HTML in a incrementally adoptable manner. So that's what I like about it. This freaking so we're just gonna copy paste right now. We honestly don't need the style, but we do need the other things. So save this. We're gonna copy it in here as well once we got this from the list. So anyway, I think we're just gonna have we could have a person collection of some sort that we fetch the data for, and it exists as its own class. I think that's a bit over-engineering things for what we're trying to do here. So let's go ahead. We're just gonna operate as if it's just a row. And so what's going to be here is this table body. Or sorry, not the table body, but the row of that person. So we're going to have it as a table row, and so close the JSON data for now. So we're going to copy this initials column there, and we're also going to have our I think we're going to have the name there as well. So the person's going to have a name, going to have their initials, and they're also going to have the description of what they do, as well as some other fields as well. So let's go ahead. I'm going to just close this and put the JSON data here. So it's going to be data.json. So this is the data we're working with. We got an organization with an ID, and we have the the person that's a part of that organization. Anyway, so we need to have the organization and the person be separate, but it's related. And so since this is a regular JSON file rather than a linked data JSON file, the object that each field is a part of is very hard to distinguish without writing a loader function. So we're going to have a loader function that loads the fields into this table. And we also have, again, like I said, the auto-complete search. So let's create that div as well. And this is the filter search. So we're actually just going to have it be an ID because there's only one filter search on the page, and it's just simple. Just keep it simple. And there's going to be a input, and it's going to be text, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, we're going to have that. It's going to filter search through the JSON data. So I'll be able to search, for example, the person's name, the person's title, or the organization name, and filter that. So we're gonna, hello to whoever just joined. We're doing a tutorial. So this is kind of like pretty basic stuff. If you don't know Vue.js, then it'll be fun. So this is the uncut version. Hopefully when I have time, I'm gonna edit this together in a nice short video. So anyway, last name, I suppose we could just have the full name be here, and we're gonna have classes for this as well. So we're gonna have class initials as well. So we could discern it by number, but the problem with doing that is if you change the number in the list, it does not work out. The index of or I'm suggesting you could possibly style it based on the index of the TD, but that's not a good idea. So anyway, we're gonna replace full name with the next thing, which is title. So person title, and we also want to display the organization the person is a part of. So we have full name with organization title, right? So anyway, so we're gonna have full name replaced with the location as well. So this is all existing in the person object, but and so it might be actually worth it to consider having so it might actually be worth it to have the location as part of the organization datum. It's not very clear what the location is part of. So it seems as if the location can be the location both of the organization and the person. So we're going to keep it ambiguous. We're going to have it so that the data is linked for the title at the very least, and that way we can kind of nest it in the front end but still have it be a flat map on the API. And I understand that for a lot of state management systems you don't want to have this kind of nested data, because it's want to have flat data so that you can have it be immutable. And when it does, when the state management does deep copying, it's not going to look at the nested data. It's going to update the entire thing regardless of what actually changed. So anyway, we have that, right? And this is all we need. Of course, we're going to need some styling as well for this table. And we're going to have this be a global style. And the reason why is just to be simple. So this is going to be a global style. Let's go ahead and make this just apply it to a table with the class of a info table, you know. Anyway, autocomplete went a bit crazy there. Anyway, so we have the info table style. We're gonna have that be our main style, and we're using normal CSS here. We could just make it less, or Sass or something. Let's keep it simple. So let's do info table. So we're gonna have info table for initials, and we're just using regular CSS. This is like simple stuff, and we're gonna style each individual field so that it looks nice. All right, so we're gonna also style the location. Great. Look at that. Awesome. All right, so the reason I put this T here is so I can just have the indentation ready. It's just something I do. Alright, so let's look at this. So we have definitely some mix-in behavior on this, so we're gonna style all the rows. And we're gonna style the row to, first of all, we're having no border, and we also are not going to have a I guess that's pretty much it. So anyway, we're going to also default to text align center, or no. We're not going to do that. So initials, I don't want to show the initials with a kind of a colored square. And so what it's going to be is it's going to look like a little box. So right here, we're going to have, replace this with TD specific style sheet. And then inside there, we're going to have a span. I think I just want to switch to less or Sass because the nesting is just such a good feature. So let's go ahead. I think it's install. Let's see. Alright. Let's hope that works. Anyway, so we're going to have this span. We're going to have it. Actually, we're just going to make it a div. And we're going to have box or initials box or something. And it's going to be, let's say, 32 pixels by 32 pixels. We're going to display it as an inline flex or block, that is. And we're also, and I'm just looking at this reference image. And I suppose that is it. And we could do some color too, background color, and we'll make that. So we'll also make the text white. And background color, this can be anything. I'm assuming we're going to want it so that each person's initials are kind of a different color. So I might just make this dynamic. And it could be a component. We can make the initials a component just for that. You know? There's no end to it. So anyway, let's just make this green for now. It doesn't matter. So, alright, we got the initials box, and so that definitely needs to be added. So we're going to need to load this JSON here into person. We're going to go ahead, we're going to remove this nesting here because we know this is a person. But we just don't have the data. So anyway, there's going to be some computed properties and also just some data. So what the difference is between computed properties and the difference between computed properties and data properties is computed properties are computed as a consequence of members in the data. So what I mean is so for example, initials. Initials is a function. It seems very perplexing. It seems like that doesn't really make any sense, but it does. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna say, so we need the initials. Well, what is the initials for someone with a middle name? We only want to show two letters: the first name and the surname, excluding the middle name. So the last name, and so we will do that. We will say, looks like the difference is that there's 2 spaces or 3 spaces. Then again, they could have a longer middle name. So we want the last word and the first word. So, and the first letter of each. So we could extract that quite simply. So let's go ahead and first we're just going to get the first initial, and that's immediately going to be just the first character, right? So that's going to be pretty simple. And so we're going to say this name and that's guaranteed to be a string because by the time that the computed property runs, the data has already been parsed. That's what we're assuming. So this is a const, and we're going to also the last name. Sorry, last initial. And so what the last initial will be is you're going to do a reverse search where we look backwards from the beginning of this, or sorry, the end of the string to the first space. And so I believe there's a string method on the string prototype for this. Now I'm just going to use a for loop because I'm old school. No, I'm just kidding. Just because it's, you know, it's not that hard. So let's go ahead. We're going to do I equals this. And we're going to do I minus. And so this is like a reverse lookup, you know, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to say if I equals space, sorry, it's going to be if it's going to be if this name I equals space, then we're gonna get the character before that. So I'm gonna do this initial equals this name -1. Okay, there you go. You got the last initial. So that's not a const obviously. Does it change? It might change. So sorry, it's last initial. So how this works is it just goes reverse, right? Sorry, I need to. It's pretty simple. It's just gonna go through this loop, and it's gonna. So for example, it'll start at D. Go backward to R, whatever, blah blah blah. Then it reaches a space and it says, oh, I reached a space, so I'm gonna just grab this letter right here behind it and grab that, and that's my last initial. So I got the last initial pretty quickly. So that's gonna compute this every time. Vue.js has a diffing algorithm, so once the name changes, the initials will be recomputed. And yeah, it'll just work. So we're gonna demonstrate this. We're gonna take the initials out. Let's go ahead and just rename this. This is gonna be name. Let's take this man's person name. That's odd. And let's place that in there. We have this initials generator function, computed function, whatever you want to call it. It's actually not a generator. I shouldn't say that. Alright, and we got this person's name. So, initials. And all these properties are undefined, so it's going to complain. It's going to give us an error. We're just going to set some of these properties so we don't have to worry about this. So, looks like I named it full name, not name. Our data set just says name, so why not just name it to name? Okay. Person also will have a title. I'm gonna use macro. So maybe watch this. So I don't want to copy paste all this stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna run a macro that looks at this JSON file, and let's copy and paste that way. So we're gonna go. Okay, we're gonna start off here, and okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna start a macro. We're gonna say look for that. Let's go back, and then we're gonna go back. There we go. Anyway, so we're gonna copy that. Go here. Go to inline. Enter. Paste that. Okay. Go back to this buffer. Go here. Space forward. Copy the inline. Go down. Okay. We're gonna go back to this buffer. Paste that. And to the beginning of the line. Go back to this buffer. And the macro. Watch this. Ooh. Ooh. Alright. It's just me having fun. Macros are so fun. So I have this data here. This is just an example data set. Yeah, so we're going to test the initials generator function, or sorry, not generator function. We're going to test the computed property of the initial box, which is the initials. Alright, so let's save the file. Do we have any errors? Oh, yes, of course. With the linter, there's always errors. View style loader. To install, you must install blah 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 blah. Okay, so we don't have this stuff. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, so whoa, bro. Okay. What? I would play music, but this is supposed to be a tutorial, so I don't want to distract any listeners. Alright. Oh jeez, man, NPM. Why don't they just rewrite NPM in C++ or something? And like make it still configurable by JavaScript or something. I don't know. Okay. Looks like we already had it, so I guess maybe. Is it gonna work with Sass? Nope. Nope. It's dependency, it's not dependent. Okay. I don't know if it's gonna work. Just kidding. It's a weird, really weird command to run. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of weird. What? We have it installed, don't we? Yeah, we have Vue style loader. So let's look in my other project. What I did there? Must have been something I did there. I might be using Sass. But oh, I need oh, CS. Okay. Hopefully that works. Did that work? Oh, I didn't keep it running. This is live. Right? Okay, it's not found. Huh? Heh. Is it trying to load a file? I guess it's not finding the file. Oh, I'm an idiot. I didn't. That was stupid. Anyway, so I'm gonna import the obviously both components. I mean, like duh, right? Import. So yeah, like how it works is you have this components list, and the way it works is you have to link your components, and yeah. And so we're gonna import person. We're gonna have that as a dependency. It's gonna fix the problem. Oh no! I is read only. Where are we? Oh yeah, duh. Oh shoot! It still doesn't like my CSS or something. I guess I didn't. Unfortunately, with modern apps, there's a lot of setup and there's a lot of boilerplate that isn't handled properly. And it looks like I need node sass as well. Still have it. Node sass. Oh boy. So Sass used to be written in Ruby, and after Ruby lost its high king tier, they rewrote it in Node.js. Too bad. I mean, JavaScript is faster than Ruby, but it's still a very interesting design decision that we have to use this stuff. And looks like we're all good, I hope. Yeah, I have a T there. That's what I was doing, right? Extra semicolon. Oh yeah, so we're not using semicolons in this link config, so it's unnecessary. It's totally unnecessary. Yeah. For reasons I will not get into. So let's see. Alright, so I wanna finish this up pretty quickly. So filter search, right? So we have people, we have organizations, we have everything here. And what was the problem? We have this thing right here. So since we're gonna have this all here, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create a macro again. So I'm gonna do a macro where I take TD, gut the rest of this stuff, find the end, cut it, and then backspace, come up, paste, go down, go down. What's that? Check that out. Oh, it's screwed up. Okay, so that didn't go too well, did it? So we're doing a tutorial on this filter search stuff. It's gonna be cool. To whoever just joined. So Okay, that didn't seem right. What's up, man? Okay, and yeah, sometimes macros just don't work out, so it's no big deal. I know why that didn't work out right there, but it's okay. So we're gonna have all this stuff nested, and then we also gotta just get rid of this, that T, and here we go. We got global styles. We're just doing global because I'm like, well, I don't like that word, global. Process wide. Yeah. Oh, nice. We're gonna do people, organizations, person, collection, and this is gonna load data from a function. But for now, it's gonna be empty. All right, what does this say? Oh, we got so many broken stuff. Infix property. Oh, okay. Oh, we're doing camel case. Oh, okay. Okay. So the linter usually screams at you because the linter knows what to do. I mean, I misnamed this file right here. Linter is God. No, he's not. Alright. We're doing a camel case, I guess. I am not opinionated as on that issue. Alright, oh, this has to be spaced. I think this has to be spaced too. Some of the rules are kind of too strict. Yeah, this makes sense. Everybody makes these mistakes, you know. Last initial is assigned a value but never used. Oh, what I'm using right here. So, MVP, this is just a simple tutorial where I'm trying to do a little search tool, and that's it. It's gonna take like an hour max. That's it. A lot of it was just initial setup, so I'm using first initial. Oh, that's right. I don't return a value. That'd be smart, wouldn't it? So okay, so we're gonna return first initial plus first initial plus the last initial. Alright. So otherwise, we're gonna just, that's fine. Oh, media center, when am I gonna do my media center MVP? That's a good question. That's a good question. Boy. Tomorrow. Yeah, we'll see. I think 2018 is a good target. Oh, we got a duplicate key. That's no good. I kind of just want to make media center really advanced and then get it to market. What projects am I working on right now? That's a good question. I'm working on media center. That's kind of my main thing. I have some work too, and there's that. So I have a few projects. I'm trying to work on a game engine too, so that's kind of a pain in the butt, but it's fun. So really just all sorts of stuff. I have enough time to do it all, I guess. Okay. There's 3 of these pages open. Alright, looks blank. What's going on there, bud? Oh, we didn't even use it. So, okay, you're thinking, what the heck is this guy doing, right? So I have this component, right? And eventually I'm gonna have it go in a for loop through the persons collection. But right now it's just person collection. But right now we're just ignoring that. We're just gonna have a simple, just keep it simple until it's working. So anyway, this is just gonna demonstrate the person component. Oh, we have an error. That's not I'm really soft-spoken right now. I don't know why. No matching end tag. Oh no. Oh. Okay. Oh. What? Oh god, what did I do? Whoa, look, app crashed. Some app crashed. Whoa, did my server crash? What the? Segmentation fault. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. That's kind of weird. I don't like that. It's still an empty div. Is there an error? Nope. Alright, so I just realized we don't need this person dot whatever because the person is the component. So let's just go ahead, let's remove that. Let's remove that. There we go. Reload, we're gonna have. Oh, that's strange though, because it's not even showing our component. It's a search component. Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty simple. Let's go to program, and what, we have router view? Okay, well, it should be loading search. So let's look at the program here. Okay, it's loading from the router. I meant to go to the router. Yeah, so it should be the search component is loaded there, but for whatever reason it's kind of messed up, I guess. So excuse me. So what I'm doing for Media Center, I have that's weird. The name doesn't need to match up. So template. This is my other project, way more complicated. It's kind of like my main personal project besides my game engine and stuff. And it's been in Vue.js also. I'm kind of just cheating a bit. Not really. Anyway, I've had this problem before where the router, for whatever reason, does not want to load this. It's a very difficult thing to debug because it's not quite clear why. So there is an error. I did not see that. Cannot read property of initials. Property or method organization is not defined on the instance but referenced during render. Okay, so we both have an undefined property, and we also have a undefined name. Alright, we have a couple undefined properties. So we're going to go ahead and go to person, which is where the error takes place. And so what is it saying? We don't have name? Undefined. Ooh, okay. Initials. I think it's just erroring here. Let's see. Not defined organization. Something's wrong. Oh, so we're reading an undefined property, which is this right here. And so we're gonna just get rid of that. And should be fine now. Yeah, here we go. This is terrible, isn't it? I'm just kidding. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna get this dev tool. Should I? Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Wait, where is it? It's supposed to have like a view thing. Okay, view panel. Open DevTools to look for the view panel. Okay. There we go. Okay, here we go. So we got this program, right? Search. Basically, it's got this route information and whatnot. So what's this gonna do? We're gonna type, like, for example, so we got Robert, and so we search it, and it's gonna populate with the list of the search, and so that's gonna be pretty simple. So we need to like steamroll this, like keep going, right? We're gonna have this done hopefully 40 minutes. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so what do we have missing? Well, the styling looks like crap. That's the first thing. Second, whoa, what is? What? Okay. Second, the initials function is not even working. Hello. Hello. My name. Oh, there was someone on Twitch chat too that I didn't respond to. Sorry, boys. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom in too. Okay, so we got this view stuff. Initials isn't generated right. Why is it happening? Let's look at it. So there's something with the algo. Anyway, I'm just joking. So. His name, oh, my bad. There should be that. There we go. So we're generating initials. Here we go. We got this initials. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna what's it? Initials box. All right. So we need some styling on that box, man. Like, what the hell is that box supposed to be, right? So initials box. We're gonna change it. Okay. TD initials. Info table. It's not an info table. That's the problem. We don't have an info table. We don't have the info table class applied to this table. So what we're gonna do we're gonna add a class. There we go. We got it. Info table. Yeah, bud, what's up? I can reply to you. You're in the live chat. Of course. Of course. I made a mistake. You're not gonna want to use underscores in CSS class name. Which don't do it, bud. It's Lisp. It isn't freaking C. It's Lisp. So that's what you gotta do. Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna. Oh Jesus. We're running against a time limit. There's no time limit, but I have invented a time limit in my head. Okay. Anyway, so we got it. Let's see what it looks like. Oh shit. I gotta stop swearing. Okay, initials box. We got that style. We got that style, right? Whoa, that's way too. Balaji. Is that how you pronounce that, by the way? What else you got going on? I don't go to school. I'm too cool. I'm too cool. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding about not going to school, but I'm not that cool, I guess. Maybe I'm cool. I don't know. Shit. What else? I do Aikido, which is like a martial art. That's pretty much the only other thing I do. I kind of suck at skating. I kind of suck at skating, right? So I kind of suck at it. So I'm trying to learn how to skate. It's like the hardest thing in the world. You know. Damn, what the hell? What? Okay. It's not dark yet. Where's the dark? I want it to be dark. Oh, here we go. Yeah, but if you guys have any questions, just reach out to me. I got it. I got it. I have the chat sitting there. Oh. I need to reply to that shortly. Damn it. Okay. Okay. So anyway, we gotta rush through this really because we're running low on time. Wait. Where's the styling? Here we go. Oh, we don't have any styling. What's going on? Info table. I thought, so let me get into kind of why I think Vue.js is superior to the other frameworks that are currently out, and that will just kind of be a side conversation along with this tutorial. First, you're not forced to use JSX, which is a way of creating components that use HTML and JavaScript, and you're not required to in React.js either, but it's pretty much required. It's pretty much recommended. Without it, it is so difficult to create a React element that doesn't want me that reading it, that makes it easy to read, you know, because it's in XML. Anyway, Vue.js takes the best parts of Angular 1 and React.js and just kind of like merges it into one framework that like really works well. Like from what I can see, there's no issue with scaling the app at all. And what I mean by scaling is I can see exactly how I would like to how I would use this in a very production huge app, you know, a huge production app. Is it online content? I think I gotta just. Oh, centering. It's so like. Oh, jeez. Okay. So my weakness. No, I don't have a weakness. What are you talking about? Okay, so I'm pretty sure we want this to be inline flex, but like the align item centers are working for some reason. I guess it's I gotta Google this. This is like -1 extra credit points or something. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Damn it. Oh, it's getting hot. I mean, it's still hot. It's late. I don't want to open the window because it's too loud outside. Okay. So, oh my god. I just want the answer. Why? I don't need this guide, man. I'm not like a child. Okay, let's see. Where is it? I should have just gone to Mozilla Development Network or something. Jesus. Yeah, vertically line items. Oh, line items is vertical. Okay, oops. Justify content. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Whoa. Okay, there we go. So now it's in the center. It's gonna look like that. And we're gonna change the font too somewhat. Okay. So let's replicate what we just did. So I'm going really fast because I really want to get this done as quickly as I possibly can. And the reason is people are very impatient. So anyway, this is a tutorial, but it's a tutorial from scratch. Very few tutorials are like that. So if you watched earlier in the video, you will see exactly how to do what I'm doing from the very beginning, and not in some pre-packaged manner. Anyway, so that's going to be replicated, and yeah, there it is. Okay, what's the next thing we want to do? We want to style it a bit more, just so we can get this out of the way. We're going to have the name of the person. That's going to be, it's going to be gray. Let's say like a, I don't know what. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know. Doesn't matter. We can even just use the regular HTML gray. It doesn't really matter. It's too gray. That's fine. That's kind of a rookie thing, though, if you think about it, using the HTML colors. But let's do it anyway. That's a rookie thing. So T-head. Oh. Okay. Okay, we lost a viewer. Oh, praise be God. Let's see. Info table also has to be on this table. Great. Okay, and so we're gonna set some styles. We're gonna have the body text. We're gonna set that by default to a bit larger. We're gonna say, I don't know, let's say, oh, what about the styles in here? There's this thing. Ah, that's right. Okay. Here we go. Looks a bit nicer. That's gonna be our auto filter right there. Looks pretty good so far. I mean, just in terms of where this is going, yeah. We're gonna add some padding. So sorry, some margin. So we're gonna add, like, let's say 5 pixels. All right. Probably even more than that. Probably like 10 pixels. Did that actually work? Like 30 pixels. I'm just playing with numbers, you know. Oh, here we go. That's good. We're gonna add some padding on the T head as well. So let's go ahead. I'm a T head. Look at me. I'm a T head. Look at that. You have something like that? I don't think so. All right. We got margin bottom right. Okay. Oh, what? That's weird. What's going on with that? Did I add the margin? Or I'm just an idiot, you know? Oh, no, I didn't. Oh. That's weird. Info table. Well, both of them are info tables. Both have a T head. So I guess it's because it's not block. So I can just make this block. Yep. So I'm kind of like thinking this is pretty good. We're gonna make the name a little bigger. We're gonna say, let's say, we're gonna make this. What is it? Font. Something like that. What? Oh, wait. There we go. We got that. Look at that. Oh man, looks pretty good. Just trying to be encouraging of myself, right? So let's say we want some width and stuff, right? Okay. All right. So we're gonna have the title. Title's fine. Let's say organization title. Let's have that align right. Or sorry, text align center. And the location we will do on the right. And let's see how that looks. Organization name rather than title. That is, and we're gonna set a minimum width as well. We're just gonna make the table fill the entire screen. So let's say 100%. Oh, what are they doing there? 100%. There we go. Look at that. Oh man. Okay. And this is gonna be the filter search. So let's go ahead. Let's start on the filter search. We have people, right? Let's load that. So as I said before, this is our person's JSON data. We're gonna make a filter, right? And we're gonna also filter on a list of persons. So what would we do? Well, we are going to have to use a keyboard. And there's a way to filter using the Vue directive system, or I don't know if they call them directives. So I'm going to take a look, because I know there's one way to do it. However, I would rather use the standard way of doing it, and let's see. So let's look at the, I'm looking at the docs, and the way that Angular had was they had a bunch of piping. Now in Vue, we have a similar kind of system, but it's not quite the same. So let's go ahead, we will create a filter as a function, and yeah, let's do that. So anyway, alright, looks like the filters are a bit are for text transformation purposes, and looks like it's recommending a computed property. So as I expected, it's a bit different than in Angular. Angular encourages filter usage pretty much everywhere, and I think they had good reasons for that. So anyway, we're gonna have person for person in person collection, and all of this stuff will be bound. How does that work? How does that work? Well, we are going to populate the data based on whatever person gets shoved in that component, and we're going to do that based on the algorithm, the for loop. Okay, and where's the person collection going to come from? That's a good question. Person collection is going to come from a computed property whereby we can compute the search and get the person collection that we want to display. So anyway, so we're going to say might as well make person collection and organization collection both computed properties, because they're both part of the search process. And yeah, so I'm gonna have to think about this. Yeah, I think that would work. Right. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna move this to computer properties. This is gonna be funny, because this is gonna be a search term. Watch this. So we're gonna have a generic kind of function. All right, and what this is gonna be is it's gonna so we have a list of methods, right? And the method that we need here is we need a search by text. Okay, and the search by text method is going to take the search term So we're going to have the search text, and by default it's going to be blank, right? And this is what we're going to do. Watch, we're going to have vModel is search text. That's vModel. vModel search text. This is the autocomplete magic we're doing, by the way. And so we're dealing just with person right now because we rather just kind of have that. All right. And now the filtered person collection is different from the person collection itself, so I shouldn't have actually looked at that. Because the person collection is the JSON data itself that we have here. So this, we want to take this data, and we're presuming that this is coming from an API. Okay. And we're going to receive this JSON, and this is supposed to be an autocomplete communicating with a backend API, and we're just kind of simulating that. So the person collection will be retrieved from another method. So we're going to have retrieve persons, retrieve JSON, and we're just gonna, for now, we're just gonna return this JSON array that we have here. And so actually, instead of copying and pasting, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna import and so I can assign this to a value, I believe. I'm sort of not remembering. Import JSON from a file. I just want to load it from a file. Oh, JSON loaded. That's part of JSON loader. So yeah, it's not part of the ES6 specification because the ES6 specification does not deal with that. So anyway, so we're gonna have import data from JSON. And do we have a problem? Yeah, we have a problem. Person collection, we're gonna have that, and this expect. Bum 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 bum. We're pretty close to getting what we want. Oh, I don't think we need that. Oh, we are very close. We just need to load the JSON data. It's fine, not used. Okay. Well, we're just gonna, when we retrieve JSON, we're just gonna return that JSON, and we're gonna pipe that into you know, some kind of formatting of the data so we can get it nested. You know, you could use Redux and React, and there's even Vuex, which is a similar type of library. I don't personally use that for my personal projects because it's a bit overkill for a lot of the stuff, or basic stuff. So we're gonna do data members. We're just gonna so JSON to data members. Or no, that's, I mean, like ideally you have a model for this stuff. I'm kind of just doing it ad hoc. So to person, and it's gonna be a type conversion. And we're gonna say it's gonna take an object and it's going to convert it to a person. So what we're going to do is we're going to say we're just going to take that. So for example, we're going to do this. We're going to, so search by text will essentially call retrieve JSON, right? And once it retrieves the JSON, it's going to take that JSON, and what it's going to do is it's going to put it in this mapping. So it's going to say map. And what is a map? Well, a map takes each element of the array, JSON array, and it's taking it and making it into a sequenced list that has a function applied to each element. So what we're going to do is we're going to return person and this is basically a type conversion because we want to have a type. It's dynamic typing. So we're gonna have this to person, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna parse this object, and we're gonna plug in that object. It's going to return a converted JSON array into some person objects. And what's the person object? Well, we have outlined what the person is here. So we're going to take these JSON fields and convert it into a person object that can be read by the person component. So let's take that. Alright, let's write a macro. Alright, so okay, so we're gonna write a macro, and I'll show you what this will be. Actually, we're just gonna copy paste. We can write a macro for the other part of this. So we're gonna return this. Anyway. So we're gonna format that. So we're returning a JSON array, and so actually, yeah, we're gonna write a macro. So we're gonna go to here, kill that, comma. Oh. And we have all that stuff. And so we're going to look at here, we're going to say object, that's going to be the person name, that's going to be the person title, it's going to be the organization name. And you know, the ideal, like a lot of people just keep the data flat, you know, don't nest stuff. And I'm like, well, dot notation is very, very nice. So anyway, so object, organization ID, person ID and an organization ID are two different things, it appears. So this is 7. Okay. And alright, so we have that. How many lines of code is this? I didn't even create a Git repo for this. Anyway, we're gonna have a ID, application, okay, and location appears to be in both objects, so I'm gonna attach it to both. We might just want to have the organization in the organization collection, which we'll work on later. So, alright, we got ID for, we also have ID here. Okay, so it's going to be object organization ID, and last but not least, person ID. Look at that. Oh, we don't want the trailing comma. Okay, so it's going to map. It's going to take this to a person object. It's going to retrieve JSON, map the each JSON object to. Thanks for following me on Twitch. In the Twitch chat, or sorry, not the Twitch chat, in the channel feed, which is on the left, there is a link to my YouTube channel. So please do check that out. I'd appreciate it if you did that. This is a tutorial, and I mainly do live streams for my main project, but this is something different. So anyway, it's not too complicated what we're doing here. We're just trying to read this JSON file and convert it to an object which can be used by this template here. So let's see. We have a lot of errors, looks like. So for some reason I have ODJ. Oh, trailing commas. You know, trailing commas isn't a bad thing. I don't know. Everybody seems to think it's a sin, but let's just not. Okay. Unexpected trailing comma. Lovely. Okay. Oh. Can't retrieve data JSON. Oh no. Okay. Right? There we go. Oh. Okay. Okay, we got some errors. We have some warnings. Explicit keys. Okay. Alright. We are very close. We are on the cusp. The cusp of what, you might ask? Well, we have our components. We have our two-person mapping. Now we just need a two-organization mapping. We're going to take the JSON in the organization, and we're going to make that into an organization collection. And so what we decided to do, we're going to have the filtered person collection exist as a filter, computed filter, and we're also going to have the filtered organization collection. And so I gotta stop saying anyway. Whoa. Okay. We almost got it. Looks like we need a comma there. Yeah, we have that warning. We're gonna have this be key. We're gonna say person dot ID. There we go. No errors, but we have no people. There are no people. And the reason why is because the person collection is blank. Okay, we got something going. We have, in effect, a filtered collection which is unrealized at the moment. So at the moment, the search by text does not take a search term. However, we are going to have a watch on the search text. So this is what's going to look like. Alright. So in Vue.js, it's called a watch, if you want to watch a value. There's also a strategy called debouncing. We are going to take a look at that. There's some code. I'm just going to, for the sake of time, I'm just going to copy. So I'm going to look for it. I know exactly what I'm looking for. And you know, I've done this, of course. It's all simple. So where is the... It's a form of... That's odd. It's a form of filtering, but or sorry, not filtering. Debouncing is a form of delayed event watching. So let me show what it is. Okay, watch. Alright, so we're gonna say, okay, so the syntax is we have a in this case the search text, and we have a function. Oops, I don't need that. We have search text which has a value. Alright, and we're gonna say, okay, so this person collection is going to be a filtered person collection with that search term. So we're gonna go ahead and search, right? We're gonna use the value and we're just gonna calculate that. So it's gonna take the value within search text and send that, you know, and use the computer property to essentially okay, let's see, to essentially map the search term to the rest of the people, and so what's going to happen? So whoa. It's putting all these errors, right? Filtered person collection is not a function. Oh, okay. So filtered search person collection. Actually, screw this. Screw this. I'm just gonna get rid of these computer properties. I don't think I need this because I'm doing the watch property. It's okay. It's okay. But actually, yeah. Let's get rid of it. I didn't need that. So we're gonna go search by text, and it's gonna be val, and it's gonna retrieve the JSON and give us the person JSON collection right away. It's gonna do that, and it's not working, as is evident. Thanks, man. I spent a lot of time setting all this stuff up, so it's much appreciated. I am using Space Max, and yeah, it's kind of cool. I guess I use I'm just gonna brag a bit, if that's okay. I'm using a Kubuntu standard setup, but I got an i7. I got 32 gigs. Life is good. I got an SSD. It's all good. That's why I like this setup. Anyway, our search isn't working. What the heck, right? That's stupid. So let's just debug this. We're gonna go. I guess since we have our source maps, we can just debug it. We don't even need. Look at this. Let's look at this. Oh, we have source maps. Ooh, we have source maps. Here we go. Okay. Let's go here. we're gonna go ahead and go here. Oh, lovely. We have the text. Watch that, right? We're in the source. We're debugging it. Alright, so what is this retrieve? Just retrieve JSON. What is that replying with? Oh, okay. It's a list of objects. Okay. That's good. We got a list of objects. Cool. Now we can search text. Okay. We're gonna map this. We're just gonna see what this is supposed to output. Let's see this. Watch that. Oh, okay. So it does retrieve what we want. It looks like the mapping is going correctly. The function works. So now we've narrowed it down where we know it's not the logic, it's actually just the display. Or something's not being parsed correctly. And I think what it is it has to do with the fact that we do not have this as dynamic data. We have it as a static data, some static data. And even though it could be going through this list of persons, it would show the same thing. Oddly though, it does not display at all. So that's a very interesting problem. So I'm gonna go ahead and play and go ahead and inspect this, see what's going on here. We have two tables, the person table and the t-body's empty. No console error whatsoever. Now, person collection is supposed to update, right? It updates here. Once it updates, it's triggering a Vue.js re-render, and it uses a virtual DOM. T-body is the person. It's supposed to be the person, and it's supposed to be looping over those objects. So let's go ahead. So what is this? That's the window. Okay, let's go ahead back to the debugger. We're just gonna go here. Okay. So we're gonna say what is this person collection present? Undefined. Well, this is undefined, it seems. So that's odd. Okay. Alright. I'm just gonna redo that here. Okay. And so what is this person collection presently? It's undefined. Oh, that's lovely. And so it's evident that we didn't return the search. Alright, so we're gonna save this, it's gonna work. Watch. Woo! Alright, we have the debugger. Play, there we go! Except we got a ton of them. They all have the same data because we don't have them as data members. They're statically defined. And so what we ought to do now is we got to put it together. So let's see. I'm gonna shrink this a bit. We're gonna have this be dynamic data. This is filters working. We could add some debounce. I'll consider that. So let's go ahead and write a note. And debounce. Okay. So we're adding debounce to that so that it's not doing it constantly, because this is supposed to be this is supposed to be calling an API. This is supposed to be calling an API. This is a dynamic. We're assuming this JSON I have, I'm loading from a file. We're assuming that's calling from an API, right? And so what's going to happen is we want to. All right, thanks, man. You have a good night. We don't want to call the API every 10 milliseconds, 5 milliseconds. We want to wait for the user to finish what they're typing, then search. All right, we could. So that's a to-do. All right, and okay. Let's see. We have these as data members. We want this to be put in there as a property. And so we're gonna take what we had here. We're gonna say. So we're gonna write this as a macro, of course, because everybody who watches my streams knows that I love macros. So I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna start here, go to there, go back to the start, copy. Oh, copy. Okay, and then we're gonna go to data. Or sorry, props. We're gonna go to end, go back, paste, copy that. And so next we are going to find the last thing that we copied. We're going to go to the new line and we're okay. Watch. Oh no. Alright, they're gonna do that again. So we can go over here, copy this, find props for the end of the line, paste, put that in some quotes, comma, find where we were at, new line. Okay, and it didn't do exactly what we wanted, but that's okay. And so the problem here is we need just that object. And there we go. So that's all we need. And we're gonna have those as props. We're gonna comment this out. And comment that out. And hopefully we don't have any errors. We don't. I think we don't. Oh, lovely. Look at those errors. Can't read property 0 of undefined. Okay, well, we need to attach those props just as we planned. Now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna do some like React style freaking formatting here. React is crazy into this kind of stuff, or like it does all this kind of stuff. So anyway, we're gonna have name, and it's gonna be person name. Okay, and then we're gonna have title, person title. We're gonna have organization, which is person organization, and we're gonna have location, which is person, and that's gonna all come in there as one data set. So let's see what's going on here. Okay, there we go. Look at that, we got a data set. That's pretty cool, huh? So now we actually want to filter, right? You know, I search Robert, I only want to see Robert. I don't want to see Jennifer, I don't want to see Gary. You know, it's not what I want to see when I search. Okay, so this is going to be a search. Anyway, so we're gonna take what they're entering and we're gonna compare certain things. Okay, so we're gonna loop over the fields. and sort of determine what they're searching by. We don't have to be intelligent. We don't have to be intelligent about it. We just have to kind of filter whatever field. Okay. And so what we're going to do, we don't want to return the JSON each time if we already have the JSON as two-personed. So since the filtering is done on the front end with a full JSON collection, this is going to be the initial data. So let's go ahead and make this the initial person collection. I don't know if I can call this functions in the data function. I believe I can. So, and then in search text, search by text is going to return a filtered collection, so it's going to take the present state and return a new state without those members. So anyway, we're going to have a filter function, so we're going to say retrieve. And so I'm trying to recall. My browser's being very slow. We're going to have ES6 version of prototype filter. I just don't want to have a syntax error, so I'm making sure. Okay. Call that. Okay. So it's it's exactly. It's a returning a binary condition. All right. Anyway, so we're gonna return this. Collection filter, and it's going to take the member, and it's going to return the filtered collection member. Right, it's going to say, okay, is that text in one of those fields? So we're going to say for field of member. And there's also nested members, so we have to keep that in mind. Right now we're not going to worry about that. So we're going to say for each field, besides organization, we'll deal with that later. And so we're going to say collection text, okay, and so we will say, first off, we need to know that this is a string. We don't want to search by ID. So what we'll have is a list of fields that we can operate on. Fields. Let's just put that there. And so we're going to have that as a list of fields. And what this is going to be is it's going to be so this search terms, we're going to have a search term map. So we have a map. And so what this is going to be is it's going to be a typed array, or sorry, mapping of the symbol to, actually, sorry, the set. It's going to be a set, it's going to be set with the search terms. So anyway, It's gonna be person. Okay. And the reason we're just having a set is because we don't want to have multiple members with the same name. Okay. Sorry, no, it's because we don't want. Anyway, I'm not gonna. Okay, anyway, so we're gonna have this be the list of search terms we want to filter by. So we want to say name, title, organization. Sorry, we're gonna have ID and no, not ID. Sorry, and location. And so what it's gonna do is it's gonna loop through the search terms. And it's gonna say, okay, so for field of member, sorry, we're gonna say, for field of member key, I'm sorry, oh jeez, so we're gonna say for key field of member filter, and it's going to be okay, so it's going to be, sorry, I just want to get this out of the way, syntax wise. Okay, member filter key is in these search terms. So we're going to say fields. So search, or no, not search terms. What am I thinking? Filter, filter fields. What's a good variable name? Whoa. Okay. Filter options. Yeah. Filter by. I don't know. Filter fields is good enough. It's not like the best name. You know. So let's keep that as fields. So it's gonna be in fields. So oh, Jesus. We need the actual value, right? So, fuck. Okay, anyway, so for field of the field value for each key that maps into the field. So we're going to return. I think in this case we want to map, or sorry, we want to map after we filter for that, right? So I'm just going to make this a separate value, right? It's easier. Okay, we're going to have members, or sorry, we're going to have field keys. I think we can just, we don't even have to do that complicated stuff. What the heck? So we're gonna have field of member. So sorry, of fields. I'm thinking about like all these ways to like make it kind of more efficient and stuff, and it's just kind of bothersome. So we're gonna for field of fields if field false. So if field is if text is the text okay. Okay, so this should work. This is all filtering code. This is just searching by text in the fields, and that's all well and good. So we have that done. We just need to fix these syntax errors. All right, so we fix it. Field is not defined. What? Oh, okay. Okay. Yep. Okay, cool. We have a ton of errors. Okay, search text is not defined on the instance, but referenced during render. That's right. Okay, so object is not iterable. Okay. Expected that. Oh, let's clear the console. Okay, so it's not working. I think it's because the set. I think I'm just gonna use. Let's keep this dead freaking simple. Okay. Let's keep this simple. You know, I'm very specific about what types I use, and you know, that's the consequence. Okay, so here we go. Oh, that's right. We don't want to have strict search. We just want to have. So, for example, when we have no search term, we want it to be. We want it to just return whatever, because if there's no search term, it's like everyone qualifies, right? So we just want it to, if it's containing the text somewhere, right? So index text. Right. So that should work. So anyway, so we're gonna say test text index of text. Okay, so if we want to filter by index of, and so we're gonna just debug this. Let's go to sources. Go source search. Let's go ahead and look here. I'm gonna just reload. Search view. Here we go. I'm gonna look here for the filtering, and let's go here. Oh wow. Something happened there. So I don't have Twitch chat right now. Alright, we don't have chat right now. And I'm not going to start Firefox because there's a billion tabs open. So unfortunately I won't be able to reply to messages until after the stream. Or I can go on my laptop, which I will do. be honest, this stream is going to end pretty soon. But anyway, so we can go here. Is this not in a components folder? It's definitely in the components folder. Why is it not letting us debug? That's a bit odd, isn't it? So that's all. That's Webpack stuff. Alright, we can't do it on the return. That's why. Search by text is not being called at all. Wow. And, okay. Alright, so we have the filtering right here. Let's go ahead. Let's copy this, see what we get. Collection is not defined. Ah, okay. We're in a scope of a different function. What is member? Well, it's a set of getters. So we're just gonna run the for loop and kind of see what the heck is going on here. Instead of stepping through it, I'm just going to run it immediately. Actually, no. Step through it. Step and do. Okay. Field. Undefined. Fields. Okay. Okay, so what field is this? This is the undefined field. Wow. Field of this. Oops. Yeah, it's working, so why is it not working? Okay, and so is oh boy. So it's running through the filter, and for some reason, sometimes the field is undefined, and so we got an error here. Collection is not defined. Oh, that's earlier. Just remove that. Wow. So I think this is because filtering isn't set up correctly. Obviously, we meant here, I guess. It's not running the function anymore. It seems like, because it should be. So let's see, what is it doing? I'm going to open up the Twitch chat and so on my laptop here. Actually, I think we're gonna call it a night and work on this. tomorrow morning. So I will try to stream this. So hopefully we'll see that be done soon. Anyway, this is part one. So we're gonna finish this up. It's gonna take not too long. We have some bugs, and in the tutorial version of this video you will see this all smoothly in one video, but it will be also fairly long. So yes. Alright, thanks everyone. We're gonna stop.